I'm Chef Kirby Bader. I'm going to prepare Middle Eastern chicken kebabs. I'm going to first start off with the marinade we're going to use for it. So we're going to start off with 1 cup of yogurt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of paprika, a half a teaspoon of cumin powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of red crushed pepper, and then we're going to add the zest of 1 lemon. Then from this point, all you do is cut this lemon in half and squeeze it. But today, we're going to go ahead and just add the lemon juice to it. And then we're just going to finish, that was 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and a half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to blend this all together. Now this yogurt is a whole milk yogurt, and it is a Greek version, which is nice and rich and things. Please don't use your simple cheapo yogurt to give you the quality of what you're actually adding to it. Okay, we're going to set this to the side. Our 2.5 pounds of chicken thighs. As you'll notice, I'm gloved up, which means I'm wearing a cutting glove to keep us nice and neat. And all we're going to do is trim these out to get rid of any of the extra silver skin and things. As far as the meatiness and the fattiness, we do want to keep that. We just want to get rid of the silver skin. And silver skin being the piece that actually attaches to the bone and becomes tough. We're just going to trim off this into pieces. You're going to basically take a nice red onion. We're going to cut it in chunks that will add to our kebabs. We'll alternate it back and forth, give it a little color, and plus influence the flavor a little bit. I won't use so much of the center pieces. I'm trying to get the nicer pieces to put on the kebab. It probably doesn't need quite this much onion, but we're going to be using bamboo skewers. I have sprayed these with Vaseline or ham, whichever you like, or you can use metal skewers like you use at home and stuff, but the intention is just to make enough to fill up all our kebabs completely. We're going to put it on in chunks, and we'll sew it back and forth, and so it gathers itself. Be careful, you will scare yourself from time to time, but just get a nice chunk of onion, again with the chicken. I try to stick the smaller pieces in between, that way the onion and the other chicken will kind of hold it together so it starts to cook and firm up. Now you're definitely not limited to using chicken here. Lamb works nice, beef works nice. All right, now it's time to take our marinade. And we're going to brush it very generously over the meat. Now we're going to give them a little turn. Turn about 3/4 or 2/3 of the way around. Get to this side. Again, we'll back and brush them and get all that goodness down inside of them. Now we're going to take this and place it in refrigeration overnight, or you can leave it up to, a day or two if you'd like. Obviously, the longer the marinade sits on there, the more flavor it's going to pull. But 8 hours is good and plenty enough. So then after we marinate it, then we'll bring it back out to the grill and continue from there. Okay, we're going to start off making a spiced basmati rice with peanuts. And this is actually one of my favorite recipes of all time. I lost the recipe and had to contact an old friend and have to send it back to me. I knew he carried it in his toolbox every time he went to work. And what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cooking oil to a 2-quart saucepan. And we're going to, I brought the stove out to you today. We're going to light the stove, turn it down a little bit. That blue flame's a lot hotter than most people would realize. We'll place our cooking oil on top. But the first thing we're going to do once it gets hot, is we're going to toast our cumin seeds. And what we have here is 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. The very, very important part of this recipe. Now this is kind of just like the idea of garlic. Again, you start off by toasting these a little bit, it'll bring out their flavor. Once you put everything else in there, it kind of just saturates them and they become part of it. This oil, when it gets hot, it'll distribute the flavor more so with the cumin. Meanwhile, I've taken 1 cup of basmati rice and I rinsed it in cool water for several minutes, trying to get as much actual starch off of it that comes with it when it's packaged, because it will continue to give up starch. The more starch you get off, the less sticky your rice is, so it makes it a little more fluffy. As you can see, my seeds are giving a little sizzle to them, which is perfect for that. All right. So next we're going to add the onion. You hear a nice little sizzle. Turn it down just a hair to keep it from sizzling. So this one is a nice tender, slow cooking motion. The intention is to just cook the onions until they're translucent and tender. Meanwhile, we're going to prepare a serrano chili. And we're going to first divide it in half. Now you can use a jalapeno if you like something a little less spicy. Serrano's got a little more fire to it. Or you can move up to a habanero if you like it really hot. Or in my house, I carry ghost pepper, so I don't think I'd use it in this particular dish because that rice would really get hot. But I use it for multiple different styles of dishes, usually things with tomato product. We're just going to take it, we're just deceiving it and taking the skim out of it. Now this is where all the fire isn't in most peppers anyways is in that white pithy part. So we're going to get rid of most of that once the seeds are out. Then I just like to take the pepper and mince it. Just a little stir until I pay attention to them. In many dishes, a lot of people don't realize how versatile it is. We're going to add the ground pepper directly to it. Then we're going to add our peanuts, which is a third of a cup of dry roasted peanuts, unsalted. And the salt coming on with the other goodies. And then we're going to add 1 clove of garlic. We're going to pop open a nice simple clove. All right, what we're going to do here is take a knife, smack it down, pull out the center of it, pull that rind away, like peeling an onion, and then we'll mince our garlic up. And once you smell the garlic cooking, garlic's done. That's why I have a tendency to add it last. So next we're just going to add our garam masala. Now this is a very important type of curry. It's not like your yellow or red curries you see in the stores like that. So we definitely want you to see the garam masala blend. You can use this in a multitude of different things. I'd be surprised how well it complements pretty much any chicken, rice, and things like that. It's great on the barbecue grill. Then we're going to add our 1 cup of basmati rice. Get it all nice and coated. That helps out on the rice and keep it from sticking. You can absorb that little bit of oil. And then, last but not least, we're going to put 2 cups of nice rich chicken stock in here. Now you can use bouillon or something like that, but I would definitely not add the salt. And last, we're just going to add that little bit, quarter teaspoon of kosher salt. Now the intention here now is we're going to bring this to a boil. So I'll turn the fire up a bit for the moment.